A major diplomatic shift could be on the horizon. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced that Britain may soon recognize Palestine as a state, unless Israel halts its war in Gaza. This comes amid growing international frustration with Israel's military campaign and a rising tide of support for Palestinian statehood. But what's driving this momentum? And how could formal recognition impact not only the war in Gaza, but the wider political landscape of the Middle East? Starmer's remarks reflect a noticeable departure from the UK's traditional diplomatic caution. Speaking during a press briefing, he signaled that recognition of Palestine is now on the table as a tool to apply pressure on Israel to cease hostilities. This isn't just rhetoric, it's a potential break from decades of Western diplomatic positioning, which has largely favored a negotiated two-state solution without recognizing Palestinian sovereignty outright. Starmer stated that the UK cannot remain idle while humanitarian crises mount in Gaza, and that recognition of Palestine could be used as leverage to achieve peace and balance in the region. The UK is not alone. In recent months, Norway, Spain, and Ireland have formally recognized the state of Palestine, citing ongoing civilian casualties, violations of international law, and the complete collapse of the peace process. Over 140 countries, a majority of the world, already recognize Palestinian statehood, yet the movement had largely stalled in the West until now. Public pressure has played a critical role in these decisions. Mass protests across Europe and the US, as well as increasing criticism from civil society organizations, human rights groups, and even Jewish peace activists, have pushed governments to act. Politically, leaders are now under immense pressure to take concrete steps beyond verbal condemnation. Recognition of Palestine might not stop the bombs or bring back the dead, but it changes the game. It grants the Palestinian Authority a stronger position in international forums, potentially enables it to join more global bodies like the International Criminal Court, and challenges Israel's long-standing assumption of diplomatic impunity. From a geopolitical standpoint, these moves also reposition Western actors in Middle East politics. By formally recognizing Palestine, countries like the UK could reassert their influence in peace negotiations and regain trust among Arab and Muslim majority nations. For Israel, this raises a diplomatic cost. Continued military action without a viable peace plan could lead to isolation even among historical allies. And for the US, which remains Israel's most crucial supporter, this places Washington in a more diplomatically uncomfortable position, especially as it tries to balance strategic interests in the Middle East with growing domestic calls for Palestinian rights. This isn't just about statehood, it's about legitimacy, accountability, and the recalibration of international law. When historically cautious nations like the UK begin to consider recognition, it signals that public will can force political hands. It also shows that the global conversation is shifting from abstract calls for peace to real-time political consequences. If this trend continues, we may be entering a new era of global diplomacy, where symbolic recognition translates into tangible influence. Keir Starmer's comments could mark a pivotal turning point, not just in UK foreign policy, but in how the world engages with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. As more nations reconsider their positions, the political map of the Middle East may soon be redrawn, not through war, but through the power of diplomatic recognition. Whether it leads to peace or further polarization, one thing is clear: the world is no longer watching